Well, thank you for joining us for your news at noon. I'm Jurnee Taylor. Federal investigators are now reviewing 2 flight recorders to try to figure out what caused Wednesday night's collision between an American Airlines passenger jet and a military helicopter near the nation's capital. According to officials on the ground, all 67 people involved are presumed dead. CBS News' Natalie Brand has more from Reagan National Airport in Arlington, Virginia.
Heavy equipment is expected to be brought in to lift the wreckage of American Airlines Flight 5342 and the military helicopter from the Potomac River as investigators search for answers.
We'll look at the aircraft, we will look at the helicopter, we will look at the environment in which they were operating.
The National Transportation Safety Board says it's analyzing the plane's 2 black boxes, which were recovered from the water Thursday night.
They are a critical part of almost any investigation. Give us a lot of data points. They can tell us about communications that we may not know about.
At the time of the crash, both aircraft were flying at about 400 feet, according to data from FlightAware and Flight Radar 24. Military helicopters are supposed to stay below 200 feet in the area. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth addressed the issue on Fox News.
Someone was at the wrong altitude. The investigation will help us understand that. Was the Black Hawk too high? Was it on course? Right now, we don't quite know.
CBS News has also confirmed the same air traffic control worker managing helicopter traffic was also handling some planes taking off and landing around the time of the collision. Sources say those tasks are usually handled by 2 different people at that time of day.
It is not uncommon for us to routinely combine positions, decombine positions.
Nick Daniels, the president of the National Air Traffic Controllers Association, tells CBS News the number of air traffic controllers is dependent on the workload.
Quite often, if we don't have enough people, we begin reducing how many aircraft that we can efficiently move and safely move through the airspace.
According to CBS News data team analysis, reports of near mid-air collisions at the nation's airports are on the rise. At Reagan National Airport, at least 9 near mid-air collisions have been reported over the last 20 years. Natalie Brand, Arlington, Virginia.
And the NTSB says it expects to release a preliminary report on the crash in 30 days. This afternoon, reactions are continuing to come in on many of the victims who were part of the world of figure skating. General Manager of the Ashbourne Ice House, Rob Lorenzen, arrived to his Northern Virginia rink yesterday morning to find a growing makeshift memorial for the members they lost. The rink is also open today to give people a chance to come together and grieve, something they say will take time.
We're so strong. Somehow we have a reservoir to dig from, and each one of them are strong enough to get through this. Somehow it will take time.
Many skating coaches and more than a dozen top skaters were killed in the crash, many who were hoping to one day earn a spot in the Olympics. Well, here back at home, we are dealing with a decent Friday heading into the weekend. Meteorologist Nathan Scott tell us more about what we can expect on this Saturday and Sunday.
Good afternoon, Jurnee. We woke up to some areas of fog out there this morning. The fog has cleared out, leaving us with lots of sunshine. Here's visible satellite with the temperatures now. There's more clouds in northwest Arkansas. A bank of clouds will make its way through parts of the state this afternoon. We're at 60 here in the capital city, 59 in Hot Springs, 59 in Clinton, and 61 in Camden. Highs today cooler in northwest Arkansas because of the clouds, but most of us will climb up a few more degrees. Then here is future radar. As the upper level disturbance will swing its way through, it may produce an isolated shower in north Arkansas, maybe even into northeast Arkansas. But here in central Arkansas, we'll just see an increase in clouds. Now tonight, starting off the night with mostly clear skies, but those clouds will return once again to begin your Saturday. And actually, those clouds may be on the stubborn side. Lows tonight dropping down into the upper 30s, low 40s in northeast Arkansas. And tomorrow, it all depends on how much cloud cover we see. I think most locations will climb up into the upper 50s, but where those clouds will be more pesky, staying into the upper 40s to low 50s in northeast Arkansas. Sunday looks much better, though. I'll have that forecast coming up.
All right, Nathan, thank you. Well, new at noon, Little Rock leaders and law enforcement officials met this morning to address the recent string of homicides and the questions surrounding them. So far this year, there have been 8 homicides and 1 suspicious death here in Little Rock. Little Rock police used today's press conference to put those numbers into perspective. Of the 4 reported this week, investigators have made arrests in 3, including the deadly shooting outside of Park Plaza Mall. Officials credit the Real-Time Crime Center for those quick developments, but say they need more help from the public.
It's solely not a police matter. Everybody has a role in public safety. We need the eyes, ears, and support of the community. Our department has strengthened relationships and partnerships with local organizations, faith-based groups, and neighborhood leaders to encourage open dialogue and cooperation. If you see something, say something.
Well, there's a lot more to break down from that press conference. THV 11's Rebecca Brown is working on that for us, and we'll have a full report tonight at 5 and 6. Meanwhile, a big decision on the way from the city of Little Rock as the city board is set to decide if they are putting more money into crime prevention tactics. THV 11's Ashley Godwin shows us the plans for the funding if it is renewed.
Our Club, an out-of-school program for kids at Our House. One of the programs funded through Little Rock's Positive Prevention.
And it's always been a sort of critical piece of the foundation of making this program possible.
Operating for about a decade, the program has served hundreds of kids and working parents.
The goal of our club is to really invest in children, meet them right where they are. We believe in these kids. We think they have tremendous potential.
Positive prevention programs in Little Rock are not new, but next week the directors are looking to renew funding for multiple organizations, $1 million worth. The money would not only go to Our Club, but other daycares like Bridge to Success and the Boys and Girls Club. And the program is showing success.
90% of the kids in this program are either maintaining good grades or improving their grades and working towards good grades.
Which deserves a pizza party.
You know, achieving their potential, succeeding in school, figuring out who they want to be in the future and how they can work towards that. And it's an exciting thing to be a part of, and it benefits not just them, but it really benefits our whole community.
The Little Rock directors are expected to vote on whether or not to renew this funding on Tuesday. In Little Rock, Ashley Godwin, THV 11 News.
Well, the funding comes from the Little Rock Prevention, Intervention, and Treatment budget. The Commission on Children, Youth, and Families recommends the board approves the money. And much like Little Rock, Pine Bluff police are turning to technology to help fight crime, and they need your help. The department's new Crime Eye program lets people and businesses share their security camera footage when crimes happen nearby. If your cameras capture public areas like streets or sidewalks, you can register them with police to help solve and prevent crime in your neighborhood. If you're interested in registering your camera, you can go to the police department's website. Embattled Chief Justice Karen Baker getting a chance to address the rocky start to her term leading the state Supreme Court yesterday. She spoke to lawmakers during a meeting of the House Judiciary Committee. Now, it's customary for the Chief Justice to address the committee, and Baker started by simply introducing herself. But she then addressed what one lawmaker called the elephant in the room, high-profile disagreements with her colleagues over who runs the state's judicial branch.
I am unwilling to accept that I don't have the same authority to hire the administrative office of the court's executive director, which is the area of contention. And if we can't work that out, we'll probably be litigating that issue.
The Chief Justice started her term in a dispute with her colleagues on the High Court over firing staff and career personnel. 5 justices overruled her plans to fire the chief administrator and several others. Those disagreements spilled into the public during a contentious meeting Baker ordered to be live streamed last week. A delegation of Jefferson County lawmakers are trying to come up with a state-level solution as the local government shutdown continues. They want to write a state law that any county that fails to set a budget on time for a new year can just revert to the previous year's budget to keep paying county workers and obligations. It's a tool other counties are already using, but it's not spelled out in state law that it's allowed. Pine Bluff Representative Glenn Barnes sees this as a way to help workers while county officials work out their differences.
After 30 days now, it's just starting to be, it's too long. These people need to be paid. And so I'm hoping that this can speed up the process.
House Bill 1331 includes an emergency clause. If it is able to quickly move through the legislature, it would go into effect as soon as Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders signs it. Representative Barnes said he believes that's something the governor would support. The lawmaker hoping to stop a planned prison in Franklin County put his alternatives on the table yesterday. Republican State Senator Brian King filing several pieces of legislation, all aimed at preventing construction on the proposed 3,000-bed facility.
To outline, one is the bill that addresses the 8 counties and the possible funding the prisons. That takes the $600 million out of surplus funds and funds that's already allocated, and that would be the first bill.
King says the other 4 bills take a holistic approach by addressing backlogs in the county jails, crime reduction and prevention activities, and amending the Constitution to allow medical marijuana and casino sales to go towards those programs. In a recent interview with our sister station, Governor Sanders said she would not sign the bill if it passed in the House and Senate. We've reached the end of the week, and that means it's time for a Feel Good Friday story. After the break, we'll introduce you to a dad who's honoring his son with a special donation.